They say angels do not cry. But what if I told you one did? Not out of rebellion, not out of anger, but because his heart broke for us, for humanity. His name was Ramiel, known among the Watchers as the Thunder of God, a being of immense power, yet burdened with unbearable compassion. When the floodwaters of Noah swept across the earth, when screams echoed beneath the storm, legend says one angel turned away and wept. But who was Ramiel? Why did he cry for us? And what secret did he discover that made heaven itself fall silent? Tonight, we open the ancient scrolls. We trace the forgotten pages of the Book of Enoch, and we uncover the chilling story of the angel who loved mankind too much. Because sometimes, even heaven has regrets. You've heard of Michael, the warrior. You've heard of Gabriel, the messenger. But Ramiel? His name was erased from sermons, hidden in dusty manuscripts, whispered only among mystics and scholars. Some say he was cast down. Others believe he still watches the skies, guarding what remains of divine mercy. But the truth is far stranger than anything you've ever heard. Stay with me, because by the end of this story, you'll understand why Ramiel cried, and why his tears still fall on us today. Before the flood, before mankind drowned in its own corruption, there was a gathering, a brotherhood of angels called the Watchers. They were sent to earth to guide humanity, to teach, not to rule. They shone like stars over ancient valleys, walking among men as teachers, healers, guardians. But something unexpected happened. They began to feel. They saw beauty, love, laughter, and pain. And among them, one angel's heart burned the brightest. Ramiel. He was the observer, the one who saw what others ignored. When the Watchers fell into temptation, taking wives among mortal women, Ramiel hesitated. He loved mankind, yes, but in a way heaven never allowed. He saw what was coming. He saw the flood before it happened. He saw the judgment before it was spoken. And when he stood before the throne of heaven, his voice trembled with sorrow. He said, "Lord, they are your creation. They know not the depth of their darkness. Must all be destroyed." But silence filled heaven, and Ramiel fell to his knees. The scriptures don't tell us this, but the Book of Enoch hints that among the fallen, there was one who pleaded for humanity, one who did not rebel, but questioned. And questioning heaven is a dangerous thing. Some texts call him the angel of hope in the storm. Others, the voice that thundered mercy. But mercy was denied, and the flood came. As the rains began to fall, the Watchers were seized. Chains of burning light bound them. Their eyes dimmed. But Ramiel was torn between heaven and earth. He could not stop the flood. He could not disobey heaven. So he watched, and as the waters rose, he wept. His tears, legend says, became lightning, flashes of divine sorrow across the sky. Each strike was a cry, a plea that echoed through eternity. But then, something extraordinary happened. As humanity perished, Ramiel saw one man, Noah, standing righteous amid ruin. And in that moment, he understood. Mercy still existed, hidden inside human frailty. He whispered to the storm, "Let not my tears drown them all." Some mystics believe Ramiel guided Noah's ark through the chaos, unseen, unheard, but always near, like a grieving guardian watching over the last heartbeat of mankind. But heaven saw everything. The archangels reported him, his compassion, his hesitation, his interference. And Ramiel was summoned. When he stood before the throne once more, the light was blinding. The voice of the Almighty thundered, "You wept for what I condemned. You pitied those who defied me. What?" And Ramiel replied, trembling, "Because I saw myself in them." In that single confession, heaven understood what no being had dared to speak. Even angels could feel the weight of mortality. He was not destroyed. He was not cast into the pit. Instead, he was silenced. Ramiel was stripped of his wings and sent to wander among the stars, to watch, to listen, to remember. The prophets of old wrote cryptically of a voice among the thunder, a whisper that precedes every storm. They said it was Ramuel's spirit, forever calling to humanity, warning, comforting, mourning. Every lightning strike, every sudden roar of thunder, they are his tears, his memory. Some mystics claim that when you hear thunder and feel peace instead of fear, Ramuel is near. He cries not for our sins, but for our blindness. He sees what we do not, that our greatest curse is not rebellion, but forgetting who we truly are, children of light, lost in shadow. And maybe that's why his story was hidden, because Ramuel reminds us that even in divine order, there is compassion. Even in judgment, there is sorrow. And even in heaven, there are tears. When the thunder rolls, when lightning splits the sky, remember the angel who once dared to love us too deeply. He wept for humanity, but his tears carried a message across time, that we are never fully forsaken, that even in our darkest hour, a spark of divine mercy still watches, still mourns, still believes. So tonight, when you hear thunder, don't hide. Listen, because it might just be Ramuel, crying once more, for all of us. If this story moved you, don't let it end here. Subscribe to Spiracy Mysteries, where lost truths are reborn, and the secrets of heaven and earth finally speak.